it is now fully rebuilt. Everything is on. Let it warm up for about 5 minutes and it rides perfectly. But that's quite difficult to get to run well. If you imagine them being on the scooter. There we go then, guys. Okay guys, so welcome back to the channel. And if you are new to the channel, then yeah, you've missed all of the build of my 1986 Honda Vision or NE50 scooter. So a lot has happened, and yeah, if you haven't watched the previous videos, please go back and have a look at the playlists and give it a watch. You might learn as much as I have, which is a lot. But yeah, we are finally here. So in the past few months, I have had issues with tuning. These old two-stroke scooters can be a little bit fiddly to set up, but I've done it. I've got it, and it is running sweet. And a couple of times over the past weekend, I have come down and I've started it and I've let it warm up and I have ran it to confirm that it's definitely set correctly. Now the temperature in the UK has dropped slightly in the last few weeks. Whether that's made the difference, I don't know, because colder air is more dense, which is better. But either way, it runs and it's good. So, in the previous video, I did a couple of little bits and pieces and I replaced a new spark plug and a new coil cap, because I tried new coil, but it was actually below the ratings that was required. So the original one went back on and it runs very, very well. The air filter, I would like to run, if I can, the original airbox, which I mentioned at some point in the future, once I've enjoyed it a little bit, I will try and fit and get it to run. But that's quite difficult to get to run well. So I have an aftermarket cone filter and it runs really nice. So all that needs to be done now is finally, probably for the 5th time, is rebuild it. So I've got the side panel to put back on, the saddle and the belly pan. And then we have ourselves a completed running scooter. So yeah, let's get on with it. So yeah, first thing to do, guys, is let's get this side panel back on. And then we can get the saddle on and then the spoiler. Yeah, it will start to look like a scooter. So with a bit of YouTube magic, we will get this panel on. And there you go. So next, let's get the seat on. Okay, so it has got dark out of nowhere, but as you just saw, it is now fully rebuilt. Everything is on, belly pan, spoiler, and the rear panel. So I'll run it again. I think that fuel tap is making a massive difference. So the fuel tap we fitted where you can switch the fuel on and off. So what I do is I switch it off, continuously run it, and it bogs down and then dies. So I know that the fuel is not being sat in the carburetor, which is what I've been recommended, and it is best for these scooters. Because to be honest, I'm not riding it a lot, and when I do, it's only up the farm. But I think that's made a difference. All these little changes have made a big difference, so I'm really, really relieved. A few videos back, I mentioned that I had some spare front indicator lenses for the scooter. and I had this idea that I'd like to do a little design on them using the tint spray that I have. So I've drawn a little design on them. Let me show you what I've got. I'll trim them down, and then yeah, I think it'll look alright. I think it'll look quite smart. But yeah, let me show you what I've sketched out so far. So use a bit of masking tape, and I've designed like a Jap sunset to go with the flag on the front. So what I think I'm going to do is the main sun itself I'm going to tint, and then these bits here, which would be usually the lighter bits, I'm going to leave the standard sort of orange tint, I suppose, of the lenses. But yeah, that's what I've done. And if you imagine them being on the scooter, I just think it's quite a nice little random idea. And they are spare, so I thought, why not? I might as well give it a go. So yeah, I got some spare tint spray. So all I'm going to do, as I've just said, is trim the bits that I don't want covered. And yeah, we'll see how they come out. There we go, guys. I've cut out the piece where I want to tint. And this is the stuff I'm using. So yeah, just give them another wipe over, make sure they're nice and clean. And we'll get some spray on there. Okay, there you go. Let those dry. That's just a couple of coats. I don't want to go too heavy because I do find it starts to separate. I have got the heater going, so hopefully the air around it will allow it to set quite quickly. But yeah, so far, it's gone on well. So hopefully, the idea I have in my mind is what comes out here. So it's a bit of fun. If it doesn't work, I can always take the tint off, and I've still got a set of good spare lenses. But it's worth a go, and I think if it does work out well, I think these will look really smart. So yeah, fingers crossed. There we go then, guys. Just added a couple of coats of clear lacquer just to sort of bring out the lens. Where I flattened it back, it went a bit hazy. And with plastic, you use some good Body Shop lacquer, it really brings out that shine in the lens. So I'll let these dry. I'll come back tomorrow, fit them, but I am really, really chuffed with the outcome. I don't know if I can just place one to give you guys an idea. Trying to get some good light, really. It's a bit poor at the moment. I apologise for that, but yeah, you get the idea. I really like that. I think it's going to be a nice little detail. So yeah, I'll let these dry, and we'll see how they look tomorrow. There we go then, guys. Pulled it out into the daylight, just so you guys can get a better look. But that is the pair fitted. Really happy with the outcome. Considering it was just a silly idea, didn't quite think it was going to look as good. But I'm really, really happy with that. And I'm actually tempted, if I'm lucky enough to find a good spare of the rear lens, which I'm sure I'll be able to find something, I'm almost tempted to have a go and try and replicate the same, and maybe have it so it's here and then have all the rays come out this way. I think that would look really smart, because I'm actually really chuffed with how the fronts have come out. I didn't quite appreciate how well they would look. I don't know what you guys think, but I'm really chuffed with those. So yeah, I'm actually really now tempted, especially when the brake light's on, with the red. I'm going to ask the guys and see if anyone's got a spare one of these, because I'm very, very keen now to do it to the rear. And whilst we're here, you can see that I've refitted the red plastic air filter cover, but I've drilled a couple of holes to hopefully let a bit more air in, because I do like running this. It just looks nice. Goes with the red spot of the 7-Up graphic. But worst case, if it doesn't, and it is better with it off, it's just one screw. Take it off, and I can always put it back on for shows, just as another little detail. But I'm yet to try it. But yeah, so I've drilled some holes all the way around. Just 5mm holes. So it might make a difference. but I am yet to try that out. I'm not sure if I mentioned it in the previous video, but while setting this carb up, I adjusted the needle clip. So it has 4 slots in this carburetor. I've gone down 1, so in theory it lets more air in. Because I think that was my issue, because when I was last on the scooter, with the setup it currently is at, but with the needle at factory, I was getting to like 20, 25 miles an hour, and it just almost wouldn't give me any more. I couldn't get any more. It wasn't bogging or anything, but it's just like it hit its limit, which was quite odd. So ever since I've done the needle clip and I've gone down 1, it's much better, and this now continuously pulls. So yeah, a bit of a recap. So needle clip from factory is 1 clip down. I have put a 105 main jet in. All the other jets are stock. So the slow jet and the starter jet are all from factory. I have put a hotter iridium spark plug in. Still got the original coil, because we obviously found out that the coil, the performance coil, which I purchased, wasn't anywhere near the ratings which was required. So I'm now using, or reverted back to the original coil, but with a new cap. Other than that, everything else as is. Obviously I've got an aftermarket exhaust also. But yeah, much happier, and it is running brilliantly, and it starts on the button. Let it warm up for about 5 minutes and it rides perfectly. So I'm going to leave it like that for now. This is a bit of a shorter video than normal, but it is pretty much done. So all that's to do now is that I need to book my CBT, which I will do next week, get the scooter MOT'd, and it'll be ready for the road. And I hope to enjoy it before the end of the year and before the really wet and windy weather kicks in. So fingers crossed with that one, and I'll do a bit of an update. But I think next in the pipeline is the A86. There's a couple of little bits and pieces that I'd like to do on the car. So yeah, that'll be coming up very shortly. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one.